Hello, everybody, and a warm welcome to what I think is a critical conversation as far as service delivery and the public sector is concerned in South Africa. I'm in conversation with Noah Trevor Ncube, who's head of the Regenesys School of Public Management. Now, what is it, you ask? Well, it's a division dedicated to shaping ethical, future-fit public sector leaders who can build capable institutions. A very warm welcome, Noah, and it's going to be very difficult for me to stop the Trevor Noah jokes, but I'm sure you've heard all of those many times before. Maybe a starting point, what does the School of Public Management actually do? And give me a sense of your core students, the kind of people that you're attracting.
Thank you, Jeremy, for having me and for inviting me, and greetings to the listeners. The School of Public Management is one of the oldest schools within the Regenesys education group, and then our core focus is to develop public sector employees and also other people who are working in developmental sectors, not only in South Africa but across Africa and the globe. So we have got quite a number of different programs which we provide in our school, from higher certificate programs in public management to the master of public management. Most of our students, they come from different walks of the professional industries. It could be the government of South Africa, it could be people working in the different spheres of the government, from national, provincial, and most importantly, again, the local government, which many municipalities which we are in partnership with as well. And then we have got a lot of students who are working who are at different levels. It could be who are at senior positions in the government, middle managers, and also junior managers, or just the general staff which is working within the public sector.
In 2025, what do you think makes a good, effective public servant right now?
So currently, you need a public servant who is actually an ethical leader, people who are quite good when it comes to accountability, people who are quite critical when it comes to different implementation of different policies within the public sector. You need people who will be able to actually implement policies which will help when it comes to improving the lives of people. I'm sure you can attest to the different challenges which people are facing, and that they need that kind of leadership. Currently, people who will be able to transform and to change the lives of people in different communities.
Let's talk a little about some of those challenges or difficulties that are being faced by South Africans right now when it comes to service delivery, and maybe tell me why you think public sector capability is so important for South Africa right now. But we can make this conversation also about the continent of Africa, because Regenesys has students from many parts of the world. But public sector capability is critical, isn't it? Tell me why.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that we have resolved challenges. Mostly people are facing issues to do with water. That is one of the biggest challenge. You may settlement, you talk about housing, which is a very big issue, and also the issue of unemployment is really the critical. You'll see that there's a constant increase in the number of people who are unemployed in South Africa, and we can talk about the Agenda 2063 from an African perspective, because we've got students who come from different angles of and walks of life across Africa. So if you check at the Agenda 2063 outcomes currently, you can attest to the fact that across Africa we're still lacking on critical people, critical leaders who can implement policies and manage policies, projects which can actually resolve the issue of healthy education, water, housing, the issues which are also facing South Africa. So we need to make sure that we as Regenesys, we play a part and make sure that we have developed such leaders who will be able to actually develop policies which are implementable and also which align to the Constitution, and which will yield the outcomes which are needed, which will actually help in bettering the lives of
The problem, of course, there is a huge deficit between the policy, and in many cases that policy is good policy, and the actual execution or implementation.
Yes, so you will find out that even the constitution, the policies themselves, they are quite really good, which we have across Africa and also importantly in South Africa. So when it comes to implementation, that's where Regenesys comes in to develop leaders, develop people, to develop implementers, to become problem solvers, to become ethical leaders, to resolve this issue of corruption which is taking place and this issue of failing to manage public resources. And you'll find that there are many outcomes, there are many reports which are coming from the AG's office which talk of different maybe local government municipalities failing to meet specific standards. You'll find out that there are many municipalities which are actually obtaining qualified audit outcomes, which is actually a huge problem in Africa and also in South Africa.
You raise a very interesting point. How do you teach problem solving within the public sector discipline?
So our programs, actually, they are tailor-made to help and resolve some of the problems. You'll find out that our programs across, especially the postgraduate programs, they've got modules like project management, EQ, emotional, spiritual intelligence modules, ethical leadership. You talk about sustainable development. You talk about monitoring and evaluation, performance management, which are critical modules which are needed for our professionals to actually have an understanding, not from a theoretical perspective, but from a practice perspective. You'll find out that most of our assessments, when we are testing our students or during their learning journey, they learn to resolve issues. They learn. They do not learn only theory, but they also convert theory into practice, whereby they look for projects, they apply research, and also find solutions from different case studies, which will be actually generated from their own workplaces. Like maybe it could be a case study on the Department of Health, Human Settlement, or on a specific local municipality which might be facing such problems, and students will actually come up with a project where they have to resolve those
And
problems.
that is so important. The challenge is to balance academic rigor on the one side with real world applicability on the other, because it's all very well just to teach the theory in the classroom, but unless you can actually put that theory into practice immediately, it's not going to be much use, is it?
Yes. So we have also partnered with a number of government agencies. It could be municipalities, whereby we go and also or we involve them when it comes to curriculum development, when it comes to research, whereby we look for the actual problems which they are facing, and then we incorporate those issues into the learning journey of any student here at Regenesys. So we are dealing with issues which we have to make sure that students actually go and research, study, come up with a project, come up with a policy which will help to actually resolve those problems which they will be facing there.
I want to circle back to ethics and governance, if I can. Failures in that respect do remain top
Correct.
of mind. How do you embed integrity and accountability into your curriculum?
So in our curriculum, we have also introduced modules like the personal mastery, which is a very important module, which is actually a compulsory module for all our programs. It is a core module. This module actually includes emotional intelligence, physical intelligence, financial intelligence, spiritual intelligence. We have introduced this module, this program, so that leaders or any student who comes through the Regenesys School of Public Management have that knowledge, and also will be able to maybe incorporate what he or she has learned into his or her own workplaces. And also all our curriculums, they are embedded with ethics as one of the core modules, and also accountability. So this helps to equip students with the knowledge on how to also manage themselves, and also how to manage other people who are actually out of their space. It is true, the issue of ethics is a problem across Africa. In South Africa, I'm sure we have seen a lot of commissions being implemented, and from the outcomes, you can tell that it's all about issues to do with the ethics, and there is indeed a huge gap when it comes to that.
And if you underpin the entire process with a good ethical education, those problems are not going to occur in the future. But I guess you've got to start somewhere.
Yes, it's true. We cannot do away with everything at once, but we have to always start somewhere. We have to always try by all means to implement these systems in place, these processes in place, and the academia has to play a huge role of making sure that we remind all the public servants and all the other people who are working in different developmental centers to actually be equipped with the knowledge on how to practice public ethics and also how to be accountable. This is critical for the public
And
service.
the modern public servant or civil servant these days has also got to be tech savvy, I would imagine. I'm interested to know what role data, digital tools, emerging technologies play in shaping tomorrow's public service officials.
Thank you so much. So at Regenesys, we know we cannot do away with knowledge currently, and there is a huge debate across the globe regarding the future of the governance when it comes to integrating it with AI. We have to make sure that we move swiftly when it comes to also equipping the public sector, not only the employees, but to also make sure that the systems which they are using, they are also supported by different technologies within the production lines which they actually have. So it's really critical that we move or we exacerbate this process, and then in that process again, as the Regenesys, we have made sure that our tailor-made programs, they also incorporate AI, they incorporate technology, and the Regenesys has introduced an AI program, and all the students who are studying at the Regenesys will actually also have to do this qualification. We have to start somewhere, and we have to start now. We have to move swiftly to make sure that we perfect our processes, systems, and make sure that we produce better outcomes in the public sector through integration of different policies and also AI.
We're a long way off, though, from a standalone AI civil servant, but I guess in time that's going to happen. You know, maybe not in your lifetime or my lifetime, but certainly something that we've got to start preparing for. What message do you have for young, aspiring public sector professionals? Why is this a good choice of career?
Thank you so much. I'm sure we are also dealing, if you look at the demographics, the young generation has come with different mindset, different ideas and different ways of doing things. I'm sure if you check kids at home, they are quite tech savvy, they are quite knowledgeable, more than us when it comes to technology, same as the youth, young guys. At Regenesys, we've got a diverse group of students, and they network a lot. So most of our students, they are also middle-aged. I'm happy that it is coming out in that direction, that a lot of youths are also being attracted by the public sector, which is
What do you think is attracting them to it now? What's changing?
The policies which are changing, the work environment which is changing, because before young people would actually opt to go to the private sector. Maybe it was looking great work, whether it's work environment or something else, or the issue of incorporating technology into the public sector. You know, young guys, they want to use technology a lot, and I'm sure that is actually attracting them. And also the work environment itself, it's supporting learners to also go further with their studies, and our curriculums, as I've said, they also include some tech and AI, which young guys are attracted to, because if the curriculum is not also attractive, young youths will not actually want to do that specific program, so they love to play with technology. So you'll find out that our curriculums, how we start our study modes, they can also study online wherever where they are, and then they can attend classes whilst they are also working from wherever where they are, which also make these programs quite attractive.
Just a final one and a quick answer. Are you confident about the future of the public service in South Africa?
Absolutely, because of many policies which are being implemented, many young players also coming into different systems of governance, and also the commitment by all, maybe for example, political parties to work together towards making sure that South Africa is quite successful. And yeah, the future is quite bright, but it needs the government or leaders to make sure that they make decisions quite faster and incorporate all the other changes which taking place across the globe into the current systems of governance in South Africa.
Or underpinned, as you've just said to us, by good learning as far as the civil service is concerned. Noah Trevor Ncube, thank you very much indeed, head of the Regenesys School of Public Management. We look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I would like to encourage all the prospective students, leaders, junior managers, whoever who is working in the public sector or another development program or the developmental sector to actually join Regenesys. You are welcome at any given time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.